There's a contrast between the leader of the SNP, Stephen Flynn, and the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport, Lucy Frazer. And Stephen Flynn thinks that the spat in GB News was unacceptable. This sort of content is unacceptable. Ava Evans was interviewed on Jeremy Vine, and she said that she thought that she was concerned that the sort of invective that Lawrence Fox used was the sort of language that she always fears people use when she's out of the room, and that she's being judged not on her journalistic content but on the way she looks. And I understand that, but I think Lucy Frazer, she was asked whether or not she would boycott GB News and whether or not she thought that sitting MPs should be posturing on GB News, and she was very evasive, and she wasn't prepared to firmly decry the misogynistic, vile rant of Lawrence Fox. I mean, and you know, again, I want to put that in context. I want to make it very clear that this is something that was produced. This is not a product solely of Lawrence Fox. This is a product of GB News, and I am sure that part of the conversation that went on about suspending Wotton and Fox was predicated on the fact that Ava Evans is also one of the people who comes on to GB News. So it's part of this community. And GB News suddenly realises it has direct responsibility for the sort of filth which is being put out, that it's going to have to deal with Ava Evans in the studio again. It can't hide from this person. And I think GB News is suddenly realising what it's done, and it has done it. It may be through the mouthpiece of Lawrence Fox, and this may finish Lawrence Fox's career for good. It may finish Dan Wotton's career for good. And well, so be it. So be it. But it would be. I think it would be worrying if GB News were to manage to transfer the blame of this entirely onto these individuals when it has been stirring the pot in production. And when I think the only reason it acted was because it realised it's going to have to deal, it's going to have to confront the person who has just been vilified publicly on their channel. And I think that's significant. It's about cowardice in the end. It's about cowardice and about being caught out rather than about doing the right thing. And I think Lucy Frazer is part of those people who are hiding and not doing the right thing. Lucy Frazer is part of those people who are evasive. She is as good as a producer from GB News. And now she's seen the way the tide has turned. I'm sure she'll come out and say, oh, disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Well, she's too late, because she's already on record this morning refusing to call out GB News as vile and as wrong on Good Morning Britain this morning. So while she was prepared to say it was unacceptable, she stopped short of saying that MPs should not be appearing on channels that broadcast that sort of content. So that sort of content is being endorsed by sitting MPs like Jacob Rees-Mogg, like the deputy head of the Conservative Party, Lee Anderson. That sort of content is being endorsed by the government, by the people in the government, or people in the ruling party, who have been in government. No, people in the government. Lee Anderson is in the government. Has he spoken out to condemn this? No. Might he do so tomorrow? Maybe, but he's playing catch-up. He should have been there this morning. And Lucy Frazer should have been there, on the ball, condemning this filth. But she wasn't, because she's part of it, because she tolerates it, because she encourages it, because she isn't really interested. She's not interested in culture, media. She's interested in furthering her career. I see nothing positive in her ministry, as I saw nothing positive in really the entire swathe of the 13 secretaries of state that we've had recently, from Matt Hancock through to Frazer. Useless individuals who could have done some good. So our focus is on the culture in our nation, and the Secretary of State for this is an afterthought. It's not considered important. It's vitally important. Vitally important.